September monthly membership meeting on FBLA programs. It's great to see you guys all here. And the September monthly membership meeting is now called to order. So let's get started.
Okay, great. So tonight we are going to start off with a super fun icebreaker that will get us all excited for the next item on the list, which is learning all about the state and national FBLA programs. Following that, we will hear from our Mountain Plains Region Vice President, James Fletcher, about his FBLA journey to national office and what nationals has in store for this membership year. Then then we'll all kind of get into that competitive spirit with a Kahoot, followed by the state of our state and closing remarks. With that being said, let's get into it.
All right, so let's kick off with the icebreaker called What's the Word? A unique or rare word will pop up on the screen, and your goal is to shout out or type it in the chat of what you think the definition of that word is. And please don't search up the words online as it ruins the fun of the game. Okay, so our first word, I've been practicing. Kakorhafiophobia. So what do you all think this word means? You guys can type it in the chat before I release the answers. Fear of words. Do you have any fear of failing? Chaos, typing, fear of losing. Okay, so a lot of you, I think Anya got it on the spot on the dot, but a lot of you guys were really close. The word means the fear of failure. So a lot of you, I mean, fear of karate is not exactly close, but fear of losing, fear of rejection. Those are all that was really impressive. Wow. Okay, so let's move on to the second one. So the next word is ah. So what could this two-letter word mean? Screaming. The sound you make at the doctor's. A type of food. Scared. A type of food.
I don't think anybody's getting this one, but
Yeah, they're not, no one's quite there. So, oh, nature's, we'll give nature the closest one. So this is a type of ballistic lava that is formed often through, and it looks rough and jagged. Oh yeah, Taylor, probably something with the ground. That's close. Naturey. Those vibes are right. Close enough. All right, so then the second word we have is called gook. So feel free to type what you guys think this word means in the chat. Nonsense. Nonsense. A disgusting food. A pile. It would be a cool board game. Fear of turkey. Something gross. Eating gook. Okay. You guys are a lot closer. This one, it's this fun word actually means language that is meaningless or unintelligible. Okay, our fourth word is abitjor. So what do we think this weird word means? Type of ramen. Slimy. French greeting. I believe this is comes or originally from French, but I don't and not goodbye, afternoon. Okay, this word means so it turns out that this word refers to a device that reflects light, like a lampshade.
To start us off, let's look at some service programs. FBLA partners with many service organizations to give members real opportunities to make a difference. From volunteering to fundraising, these partnerships let us look at important causes while building leadership skills and strengthening our communities.
So first up, we have the Colorado Relief Fund. The Colorado FBLA Relief Fund was created in 2008 to support communities affected by natural disasters all across the state. So for example, in 2024, there was a really bad hailstorm that hit Yuma, Colorado, and the fund was able to provide financial support to the Yuma FBLA chapter to support its members. If you're looking to get involved, chapters can contribute year-round through fundraising efforts, both in their own schools and during statewide initiatives. So donating to this fund helps you earn points for your chapter for peak points, as well as recognition at the State Leadership Conference. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for future fundraising initiatives. Also, if your chapter or a chapter that you know of is facing hardship, you can apply for assistance from the Relief Fund.
Next, the Alzheimer's Association is the leading voluntary health organization dedicated to Alzheimer's care, support, and research. FBLA chapters can join the National San Antonio Virtual Walk Challenge to raise funds and awareness and even earn national recognition. The Virtual Walk to San Antonio is a year-long game-style fundraiser where chapters complete service challenges, track progress on a team game board, and raise money for the Alzheimer's Association. So by registering nationally and submitting your completed game board, members join thousands of FBLA students across the country working together toward the fight to end Alzheimer's. If you're interested, search FBLA Alzheimer's Association Virtual Walk to learn more, and stay tuned for upcoming Alzheimer's awareness challenges launching soon for Colorado. Again, more information about this organization and the activities supporting it can be found on the national website and the Colorado FBLA website.
Last but not least, we have the Lead for Change program. Lead for Change is a free leadership program for grades 6 through 12 that turns big ideas into real impact. With easy-to-follow lessons, students learn leadership skills while tackling service projects that matter to their communities. From identifying a need to creating and carrying out a plan, members get hands-on experience and even the chance to win grant money to bring their projects to life. Every year, there are multiple winners. For example, last year, Empower Her at Gwynedd Mercy Academy High School received a $2,500 grant to partner with a local shelter for survivors of domestic violence to provide financial literacy workshops and educational seminars. As you can see, this is a great opportunity for you, for your school and your chapter to make an impact. As we said, Lead for Change does take on a classroom environment, so make sure you communicate with your advisors and other teachers if you're interested.
In addition to many great service programs, FBLA offers educational programs that help students build skills in teamwork, financial literacy, and life knowledge. Let's explore the opportunities available to Colorado FBLA chapters. Remember, registration details, deadlines, and more can be found on the National FBLA website and the Colorado FBLA Instagram page throughout September. Keep an eye out.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to buy and sell stocks without risking real money? That's exactly what the stock market game allows you to do. It's a fun, hands-on interactive simulation where participants are tasked with diligently managing a virtual investment portfolio in teams of up to 5 members. You're given a theoretical $100,000 and must make key decisions such as selecting which stocks to buy or sell, evaluating risk versus return, diversifying your investments, and responding to market trends and economic news.
However, this challenge is so much more than just a game. It teaches you valuable skills such as budgeting, critical thinking, and how the stock market really works. Plus, it is a completely safe way to practice investing before you put your own money on the line. Participating can give you a huge advantage when it comes to understanding finance and managing your money in the future. So, if you want to learn more about how to grow your money and make smart financial decisions, then the stock market game is a really great place to start. And I know this personally, I did it for a couple years in a row, and it was exhilarating. Being in that space, it felt like I was really on the stock floor with my friends, and then everything was moving so fast paced, and yet I felt like I was really able to take in every moment of it.
Our next program opportunity is Life Smarts, a national educational quiz challenge that combines real-world knowledge with friendly competition. Students will compete in a series of quizzes in either the fall or the spring challenge. These cover essential life skills including personal finance, consumer rights, technology, health and safety, and the environment. This program prepares you for your everyday decision making by covering practical topics such as navigating credit, avoiding scams, understanding insurance, and using technology responsibly.
It's a great way to build confidence, sharpen your real-world knowledge, and stand out at competitions. Even better, the top team from within Colorado from either the fall or spring challenge earns the opportunity to compete in Life Smarts at the National Leadership Conference in San Antonio this summer. If you are ready to strengthen your life skills and represent your state on the national stage, then Life Smarts, the FBLA challenge, is an opportunity for you that you do not want to miss out on.
All right, so the Virtual Business Challenge is an interactive online competition that puts your business skills to the test in a fast-paced, real-world simulation. Students compete in teams to manage virtual companies in areas like personal finance, sports and entertainment, hotel management, and more. Each round challenges you to make strategic decisions in marketing, budgeting, operations, and customer service to outperform competitors and climb the leaderboard.
It's a dynamic way to apply classroom concepts, build teamwork, and gain hands-on experience in running a business. Top performing teams from each region earn the opportunity to compete at national finals at the National Leadership Conference. If you're ready to take on real business challenges and prove your skills on the national stage, the Virtual Business Challenge might be the perfect opportunity for you.
American Enterprise Day, held on November 15th, is an annual and national celebration of the American enterprise system, entrepreneurs, and our economy. It was started by President Jimmy Carter in 1980 to help educate and promote the American free enterprise system. FBLA has celebrated and promoted this day for years. We encourage chapters to celebrate, as well as engaging with guest speakers, entrepreneur highlights from your school, or visits to local businesses. I know for my chapter, we work closely with a family-run hardware store that's in our community. So especially during November, we'll have them come in and talk to my chapter about kind of how they started their business and all the great things that they've been able to do as a family-run store.
Another fantastic opportunity for FBLA members to get more involved are the Business Achievement Awards, also known as BAAs. BAAs are business educational programs that will teach you about FBLA, leadership, various business topics, and even allow you to develop your own projects within your community. Not to mention, it's a great way to get extra recognition at state, including another ribbon for your name tag. The BAA courses can be found on FBLA Connect under More Than Courses, so make sure you go and check those out.
There are 4 different BAA levels. Although you do not have to do each level in order, they progressively get harder and require more hours as you move up. The first level is called the contributor level, where members gain a strong foundational understanding of what FBLA is and how FBLA came to be. Members are also exposed to the opportunities available to them within FBLA and how to navigate them. The second level is leader. This level is an opportunity for FBLA members to learn about the importance of leadership and the different types of leadership. You are also given the chance to determine your leadership style and learn how to effectively use it in all sorts of leadership roles.
The third level is called the advocate level. Advocate allows members to choose a specific business topic that they would like to explore and complete a course on it. If you already finished one topic course, you can complete another topic to win a second advocate recognition. Lastly, the fourth and most involved BAA level is called the capstone level. This level allows FBLA members to identify and solve a real-world problem within their community. It's a large and hands-on project, and if completed, FBLA members have the opportunity to submit their project for competitive review. If the judges like your project and competitive submission, you could get the chance to qualify and compete at the National Leadership Conference. This year, we actually had 3 Colorado members qualify with the capstone projects. One of them is actually here with us now, so reach out to Lindy if you have any capstone questions.
To stay up to date on all of these opportunities, be sure to check out the Colorado FBLA Today monthly newsletter. You can find it under the Programs tab on the Colorado FBLA website. Each edition provides updates on programs, member opportunities, FBLA events, and much more. The newsletter is designed to showcase a diverse range of experiences and inspiring FBLA stories for all members. We love hearing and sharing your valuable stories, so don't hesitate to submit an article to Colorado FBLA Today anytime throughout the year. Be sure to check out the latest August and September editions, which featured a wide variety of topics ranging from champion chapter, national programs, the Colorado Fall Leadership Conference, and more. You can also see our upcoming newsletter topics for the year, so stay tuned.
In the progress section, you can find 2 main programs, the Champion Chapter Program and Peak Awards. The programs fit with Progress because they are focused on creating opportunities and striving for success in your home chapter. Both programs push chapters to get involved and provide members with ways to connect with others. Champion Chapter is a national program that chapters participate in to win recognition at the state and national leadership conference. Here in Colorado, we award chapters with name tag ribbons for each section they complete. Chapters can receive one of 3 levels, bronze, silver, or gold, depending on how many points they earn by completing tasks. More information and resources about this can be found on the state and national websites. The tasks each chapter complete are separated into 5 sections of Summer Starter, Shaping Success, Service Season, CTE Celebration, and Champion Plus. Let's learn more about each of them.
The first section, Summer Starter, stretches from August 1st to September 24th, meaning it is currently active. It is focused on chapter building and membership strategy for your upcoming membership year. This can include tasks such as electing chapter officers, developing your POW, or setting chapter goals. Each of these are essential to start your chapter off on the right foot with a good plan. Next is Shaping Success, which occurs from September 25th to November 5th. This section can include tasks like hosting special events and creating chapter committees to help chapters focus on recruitment and member retention. Basically, it is trying to set your chapter up for future success.
On the slide is an example of the checklist each chapter is sent at the beginning of the year. You can use this to check off each task and keep track of your point total throughout the year. There is also a backside with the other 2 sections as well.
The third section of Champion Chapter spans from November 6th to January 7th and focuses on community service and engagement. I'm sure you can guess, but this one is named Service Season. A few example tasks here are leading a community service event, hosting a study night, or presenting workshops. The goal is to try and get chapters more involved and engaged within their communities to build a support system and give back around them. Soon after is the CTE celebration, occurring from January 8th to March 4th. CTE celebration has a focus on chapter excellence and career technical education awareness by encouraging chapters to contribute to their community and connect with alumni or industry professionals. We want to get members out there and engaged so that they can start building their network.
Lastly, we have Champion Plus, which is an extra section to further engage chapters in what the state and national chapters are up to. This is done in between January 9th and May 6th, the main conference times and competitive deadlines. Champion Plus focuses on national programs and conferences, sponsors and partners, and recruitment. Some tasks could include attending a conference, participating in a national program or initiative, or even applying for scholarships from FBLA. Each and every section plays its own part in shaping your chapter to be successful and engaged in FBLA by encouraging you to keep striving for more. Some of these tasks are worth more than others, and the more points you accumulate, the higher your achievement will be.
Now, Peak Awards are the Colorado-specific version of Champion Chapter to add extra recognition for our state chapter at the State Leadership Conference. It has the same sections and timelines as the Champion Chapter program, along with some of the same tasks. However, we have added some of our own tasks that relate to state-specific events, POW initiatives, and social media challenges. All of this information and submission resources can be found and further explained on our website under Progress Initiatives.
Chapters can be recognized through 5 different levels at SLC based on their point accumulation throughout the year. The higher recognition you will receive. In Colorado FBLA, or chapters that achieve Peak 5 are the highest, largest, and most involved and high-achieving chapters within Colorado FBLA. These chapters are also submitted to National FBLA as Gold Seal chapters and will be recognized on the national stage.
So that's it for our state and national FBLA programs. We know it's a lot of information to take in, so we're going to review it all with a fun booklet to test our knowledge and have a little fun. 1 second, sorry. Okay, wait, let me open up the room and then I will put the code in the chat. So, hang on, okay, host game. Okay.
If you share your screen, we'll also show the code, Nisha.
Oh, yes, you're right. Okay, share. Okay, is that working for everybody? All right. Well, the code is on the screen then, and then
Officers, you guys can join as well if you want to.
yeah, we have fun questions on here. Okay. I'll just give everyone a second to get in. You guys can also join, like if you are lagging or anything, you guys can join later too. Alright, I'll just wait a couple more minutes and then we can get started. There's just about 20 questions on here. Right.
Some people have fancy backgrounds. They must have like special Blicket accounts or something.
All right. Should I get started then? Okay, yeah. And don't worry, you guys can join late too. All right, we'll get started then. Oh. So how many points do you need to get peak 3? Let's see who's paying attention. All right. Yep, so it's 400 to 499 points for peak 3. Nice, Norris. All right, okay. Next. Oh, I don't know what it's doing. Okay, next. What day is American Enterprise Day? Let's see. Right.
Nisha, I think you should turn on the music, make it more fun.
Oh, yeah. That's really loud, sorry. Okay.
Not that high.
Oops. Okay, so yeah, it's November 15th. Okay, sorry, my screen's like lagging. All right, nice. Okay, Zach takes the lead. Can you guys hear it? There you go. Oh, okay, well, we will have a guest speaker today, so just take a guess. All right, yep, it is James. You guys will hear from him after this booklet, so stay tuned for that. All right, Taylor. Nice. All right. Oh, Zach's still in first. Okay. How many BAA levels are there? Okay. Oh, most of you guys knew this one. So, yep, there are 4 BAA levels. Nice. All right, so let's see who's in the lead. Zach, still in the lead. I guess it's a little unfair having our officers play. All right, which national challenge involves competing in quiz challenges? All right. Yep, it is Life Smarts. I see how the others can be confusing though. But yeah, Life Smarts does have quiz challenges. All right. Zach's still in the lead. Okay. What grade levels can participate in the Lead for Change program? Let's see. Yep, it's 6th through 12th. Not a lot of you guys knew that one, but Ren answered fastest. Oh, Norris is in the lead now. All right, next. What is the name of the Colorado State newsletter?
You made that one confusing. They all basically sound the same.
Wait, what?
Like the answers, they all like say like a lot of the same words. I was like, which one is it?
Yeah, no, they're all similar. Sorry, I did that. I made it kind of hard. But yeah, it's Colorado FBLA today. All right, nice job, Taylor. Oh, Taylor takes the lead. Okay. So, which state officer has fallen off a cliff?
Guys, I feel like we need to be more specific with this story.
Well,
yeah, we can explain the.
Just so everyone knows,
Well,
I caught this person. I caught them.
How they fell off the cliff.
It was Annabelle. It wasn't a big cliff.
I caught her, guys.
Lindy, do you care to explain? We decided to go for a hike to the ice cream place at training. I happened to take a little tumble. Yeah, Lindy caught me though, so.
Yeah, we're all good. But, oh, okay. When was the Colorado Relief Fund founded?
But you guys, for the record, it was my fault. FBLA had nothing to do with me falling, guys.
It wasn't a big cliff, it was like a ledge, but...
It was like 5 feet tall.
Okay, yep, the Colorado Relief Fund was founded in 2008. Nice job, Ian. Norris back in the lead. Alright. Which state officer got locked out of her pickup on her way to CTSO training?
You guys are getting all of the tea tonight, all of our fun facts.
Yeah, it was Aspen.
Just so you guys know, I drive a 2002 pickup truck, and I have a manual lock. And I was taking my suitcase out, and my elbow hit the lock, and it was like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, it was
too bad.
But we made it. All right. Okay, back to the icebreaker. What does snollygoster mean? Yeah, it was an unprincipled person, typically referring to politicians. Nice job, Taylor. And Addie's in the lead now. Alright, let's see. What was the name of the icebreaker? Yep, it was what's the word? Let's see. Alright, Erica, nice. Addie's still in the lead. Which champion chapter program is based on member recruitment and retention? Let's see. Oh, computer's gonna die. Yeah, it is Shaping Success. I always get it confused with Summer Starter. Right. Addie's still in the lead. I would hope.
I got that one wrong though, and I'm still in the lead.
Oh well.
Turn.
In which national program do you interact with the stock market through a simulated $100,000? This one's kind of in the name, but yep, it is the stock market game. Super fun though, you guys should definitely try it out. Alright. think we just have a couple more questions on here. Let's see. What is a timeline for the Champion Plus program? Yep, January 6th, or January 9th through May 6th. So, I guess keep an eye out for that when it comes up. Alright, Addie's still in the lead. See if anyone can beat the president. What is the name of the Alzheimer's Association board game? It is the San Antonio Virtual Walk, which is definitely participate in that too. It's get you some good recognition. Right. What is the Middle Champion Chapter Award level? It is silver. It goes bronze, silver, and gold. Alright. See. Addie, go easy on them.
I've gotten like 2 wrong. I don't know how I'm still on this.
Alright, what topic does February cover in the Colorado FBLA Today newsletter? Yep, it is servant leadership. You guys definitely should consider sending in some articles for the newsletter, though. We would love to hear from you guys, get some member participation in it. Alright, what is this year's Colorado FBLA theme? It's where leaders take flight. This job. And let's see. I don't even know how many questions there are.
One more.
Okay. True or false, you need documentation for Peak Awards. Yep, it's true. You do need documentation for Peak Awards, so if that's something you're doing, get started soon. Alright, let's see the podium. Avery in third. Ian in second. And Taylor in first. Nice.
Where did I go? I don't even know where I went.
Well, nice job, guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Great job. Hopefully this helped you guys review those programs a little more.
All right. Thank you all so much for participating in our little booklet. We are also excited for our guest speaker tonight, James Fletcher. James is serving as our National FBLA Mountain Plains Region Vice President, and he is also excited to be here with all of you tonight. From his home state of Nebraska, let's give a warm Colorado FBLA welcome. Take it away, James.
Hello, everyone. Like Lindy said, my name is James. I'm from Litchfield, Nebraska, and I'll be a senior this year. I'm the Mountain Plains Vice President, and I'm just going to kind of talk about my FBLA journey and some national initiatives that are being passed down to states this year. So I first joined FBLA my 7th grade year. That's where I attended my first fall and state conference, and that's kind of what got me. That first year was really got me interested in FBLA. Just seeing the state officers and like how they ran FBLA and the leadership they possessed really got me excited about the organization. It's kind of what got me more excited in the national level too. When I was able to attend the National Leadership Conference my 8th grade year in Chicago, that was a great experience to walk down the expo hall and see all the national officers in their campaign booths. And then I decided that my freshman year, I wanted to run for state office in Nebraska. So that's kind of where my high school career kicked off. I ran for the state parliamentarian that year. Although I didn't get it, I was still like, actively involved and was able to go to nationals and connect with members across the nation. And then my sophomore year, I also decided to run for state office, and I wasn't able to get it there. But that's kind of what gave me the drive to keep going and keep going for bigger things in the organization. Also, my sophomore year, I was able to be selected for the Mountain Plains Region Council. So through that council, I was able to work on the national level with different initiatives and working with a national officer and being able to help states with those resources. So that was kind of the second, that's kind of what really got me interested in the national part. And that's kind of what started my national journey for national office, wanting to run. And then because in Nebraska, one of the requirements is you have to be a state officer before you can be a national officer. So one thing that I did was run for state office my junior year again, and thankfully I was able to get the state vice president. And then through that summer, I prepared my campaign for National Mountain Plains Region Vice President, which took time memorizing my speeches and getting my campaign materials together, trying to get everything that I could fly to Anaheim, California to take. So that was kind of my FBLA journey. It worked out in the end, and I'm here as a national officer, but it was definitely an exciting journey to take down, and it's just something that giving back to this organization. And it doesn't matter what level of FBLA you're on. There's always ways to be involved and active in every level, whether it's by yourself in competitive events, chapter events like the champion chapter, or even state like your guys' peak. Sounded like a really interesting program. But some national initiatives that I'd like to highlight, one of them is that I'm able to lead this year is the Middle School Advisory Council. So this one, I know if there are any middle school members that are completing their application, they are due tonight at 11:59 Eastern Time. But this is just a group of middle schoolers across the country that help advise the national officers on making sure we're creating engaging materials for middle schoolers. So that's one thing I'm really excited about because I think middle school is a great part of FBLA, and it sounds like Colorado does a great job of keeping middle school involved. You guys have a middle school state conference, which I think is really cool. Another thing from the national level is you guys talked about champion chapter, and I'm really excited to bring more what's it called, like recognition throughout the year with champion chapter. So they're recognizing regionally, like seasonally, like say you guys have an outstanding chapter that would get recognized throughout the Mountain Plains region. So just keeping in constant involvement in that. And champion chapter is such a great program at the local level. So I think it's a really great way for your chapters to stay involved with national programs, but also being able to get recognition at the national level throughout each season, like they mentioned. And another one is Alzheimer's. You guys kind of talked about the walk to San Antonio. And then with that, we're also helping, and anyone that completed that, the national officer team is helping send some personalized videos to encourage your chapter and celebrate them and be sent to your chapter to help with that. And then one more thing I want to highlight is if you're planning to attend the National Fall Leadership Conference this fall, we're hopefully doing resume reviews where local chapter members can submit their resumes to be reviewed by employee from LinkedIn or other competitive event judges like advisors or things like that, and receive real-time feedback on their resume reviews on how to improve them and be more job ready. So if you're attending the National Fall Leadership Conference in Phoenix, really be excited for that and do take advantage of everything you can within FBLA. So as I kind of close, I just want to leave you with some words of advice. So making sure you take advantage of every part of FBLA, take advantage of every position, anything you got, anything you can take. And if you want to be far in the organization, you just have to put yourself out there and just being able to say yes to anything, whether it's attending your first meeting, applying for district office or state office, just take those chances because you never know where they might lead. So if you guys have any questions for me, I would love to take them.
You guys are totally welcome to actually unmute and talk to James, or you can type him in the chat, whatever you feel most comfortable with.
I guess I can start. So you talked a lot about how your experiences as a state officer, and like you talked about how like I think correct me if I'm wrong, the first 2 years you didn't get it, but I guess third time's the charm. Um, and I just wanted to ask like what kind of made you like bounce back like and like keep on like persevering through that kind of rejection.
One thing definitely was my chapter support and just having that vision that you wanted to be an FBLA. I'd always known I wanted to take that next step into FBLA, so I think I let that sit in my mind and not the rejection, not the criticism or rejection or being defeated every year, but really being able to know where I wanted to be in FBLA and having that clear vision, but also, like I said, the chapter support. My chapter members were very supportive every single year, with my campaign, keeping me on track and things like that. So I think just having that clear vision of where you want to be and not listening to those around you about criticism or things like that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that.
In the chat, Erica asks, how did your process for applying for national office go? What sort of requirements or procedures did you have to go through?
Okay, so my application for national office, so it depends state by state, but the national requirement is either be a local or state officer. So Nebraska requires you to be a state officer before you apply. And then as you apply, you fill out your resume, and then you have to answer questions on each of the national FBLA strategic plan. So like the strategic plan included things like developing an FBLA that's open and welcome to everyone, creating a smooth blend from all middle school, high school, and collegiate. So things like that. You had to answer questions on the different things. Then you had to share your campaign platform, what campaign items you share, and basically have your whole campaign mapped out by the application deadline in May. And then after that, you would go and you would get interviewed on a specific date. They would interview, ask you questions, just kind of make sure you're a quality candidate. And then after that, it's free for getting your campaign together. And then at the National Leadership Conference, you have a briefing and you get to talk with the actual national officer position that you're running for, and they kind of give you advice and things like that. And then for regional offices, you'll give a speech at your regional rally at nationals. But if you run for an executive position like president, secretary, treasurer, you'll give your speech at the opening ceremony. And then after that, it's just campaigning and speaking to delegates day in and day out.
Thank you.
I had a question. So I feel like FBLA kind of teaches about business like later on in life too, but what's the biggest thing that you've learned like in FBLA that you can apply once you graduate?
I think the biggest thing I've learned through FBLA is definitely persistence and not giving up and not letting outside opinions dictate your view. I know it's not like a business skill, but it's definitely a skill you'll need in the future is just being very persistent and not letting someone tell you no or someone that you can't tell, having someone tell you you can't do it, and just having that drive in your brain and making sure you can set those clear goals too, which goal setting is such an important skill in your life. So I think it helped me with like goal setting and where I wanted to be and all the mini goals in between.
Okay, we have two more in the chat and then we'll be done. From Ren, what is the most important decision you make as a leader? What are one or two ideas you have for improving state or local FBLA? What specific moments or experiences in FBLA have inspired you to run for a leadership position?
So I'll start with the most important decision you make as a leader. I think is definitely who you choose to be around you, because like they say, like you are who you hang around. And I definitely think the people you choose that are your support system or the people you choose for, say, a council or things like that, that I think that was the biggest decision I've ever had to make, because those people are going to be there for you and those people are going to be the ones that are driving you throughout the year, helping you get your tasks accomplished. So I think that's one of the biggest decisions I've had to make so far. Um, one or two ideas for improving state or local FBLA. One thing for local FBLA, I'm sorry, is definitely make sure you're getting your whole chapter involved. Don't try to take everything on as yourself, because that can lead you getting overstressed and burnt out really fast. So just make sure you're delegating things to your chapter, because that's one true quality of a leader is delegation. So make sure you're make sure, like for champion chapter, delegate different tasks to different officers or different chapter members, because when you have an involved chapter and everyone's excited about FBLA, you take more members to like state and national conferences. And improving state FBLA, just be involved in state programs. Like you guys even coming to this meeting is helping improve the state, because they have good membership at this, and it helps keep the member informed throughout the year, which leads to a strong state chapter as well. And then what specific moments or experiences in FBLA have inspired you to run for a leadership position? I think seeing those before me and how they made me feel at like conferences, or um, how they made me feel, how they led the state. They were kind of my role model as I was a junior high kid, and I was looking up to these state officers and national officers, and I want to create that kind of community for the members below me as well.
Okay, and then last question. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm not going to say it. But how do you become a state officer? And is there a grade break off? Like if you're a senior, can you still run for state office? And I'll let you answer for Nebraska, and then I'll add a little comment on for Colorado.
Right. So Nebraska, how it works is you can run as a freshman, sophomore, and junior. You cannot run if you're a senior because you still have to be in your high school business education course to run. But when you run for state office, it's kind of like nationals, but in Nebraska, you submit your application in January, and then the applicants go to a screening day where they take a test and interview with the board of directors of Nebraska. And then after that, you go to state conference and you give a speech at the opening session, set up your campaign booth for 2 days. You participate in a formal caucus where members will ask you questions. And then it's the same kind of delegate voting from there.
Yeah, so Nebraska still campaigns, if that's what you guys got out of that. And Colorado does not campaign. So we go through a whole application interview process with a selection committee that is all, I would say, private from the rest of the members. So they pick one member from each district who gets to come in and interview you for one section of the application. The rest is written application. And then you also have interviews with the state advisor and state officer advisor. So Tanya and Molly. And there's no campaigning allowed in Colorado. And then the cutoff is you're not allowed to run as a senior because you won't be in FBLA the next year because you'll be going off to college. And I believe you cannot run as a freshman either, but you can run at the end of your sophomore year. So that you're going into your junior year, you have to have 1 to 2 years of experience before you run for state office, if that's correct. So, any other questions about that specifically? Perfect. Well, we'll move on. So again, thank you so much, James, for being here. We all really appreciate your story and what you had to share with us. But let's move on to our last item of business, which is state of our state. So let's find out what our VPs have for us regarding their POWs.
All right, so starting us off with service initiatives, we have Service Sundays going right now. I do really want to start getting out some service spotlights. So for all of you guys who are here tonight, please, please, please encourage your chapter to start hosting service activities. And if you have hosted service activities, please submit your activities, take pictures, take tons of pictures, and submit the activity through the link. So if you go to the Colorado FBLA website, then you go to resources and member resources, there's a place where you can submit a Service Sunday submission. And we would just love to start getting you guys out and get recognition out on the Instagram. We also have a September challenge that we will be posting about soon. This September challenge involves doing service outdoors just while the weather is still nice. It's just a fun spin and gives you a little more direction on how to, or on service ideas. So if that's something you're interested in, please look into that so we can start again recognizing you guys. And the service toolkit will be coming out soon, hopefully by the end of this week, and we will post when that is out. So if that is something you guys need to help give you more direction as well, you can look there as well. So next for Fundraising Frenzy, this is an initiative that comes out later in the year in November, so we will release more information in October. But for now, a good thing to think about is why would you want to fundraise? That is a number one question you need to ask yourself and your chapter when it comes to fundraising. So before the initiative even starts, it's a really great thing to think about. Why do you want to fundraise for your chapter? What is important to you? So keep that in mind, and then we will post more about it in October. Finally, for FBLA Amplified, we are getting posts coming out more about like information about it. And again, FBLA Amplified is just getting in touch with your community, and this quarter is about Alzheimer's. So even if it's just making a post for your chapter about Alzheimer's awareness, you guys can send that to Colorado FBLA, and we would love to give you guys recognition on our Amplify alerts. So that's my little update there.
Awesome. So getting into our State of the State for Education initiatives this month. In terms of national programs, our 3-week social media push has officially started. So last week, the Colorado FBLA Instagram put out a post with all the registration details and what really all the national programs are. We went over them today in the presentation too, but please feel free to go take a look at it. And it has all the information on how you register as well. In the next 2 weeks, you'll be seeing more posts on the tips and tricks on how to win and some last minute motivation and registration reminders. So keep an eye out for those resources. In terms of building chapter connections, our District 6 State Officer Sylvia Pato is ready to launch her District 6 Chapter Connections event on her Alzheimer's Walk taking place on September 27th. If you want more details for that, be sure to go take a look at her FBLA Instagram for District 6 Colorado FBLA. And our fellow state officers are going to keep coming out with their events as we go throughout the year. They're putting so much work into this, and it's going to be such an amazing resource for networking, sharing resources, and forging bonds. So I strongly advise you to take a look at those as they come out throughout the year. And once again, if you're really looking for where you can get involved in these events, I'll be putting them out in the newsletter. They'll be out on the FBLA Instagram pages, and we'll be sharing them on these meetings as well. So those will definitely be out there. Now, for our parent outreach and involvement, that toolkit officially went up last month. We have email templates for you to send to your parents on how to get involved, mock tournament guides if your chapter is interested in doing a simulated tournament to prepare your members, one-pager examples of what you can give to you can give to your members and your parents, really just all the ways to get everyone in your community involved in your FBLA chapter because we have so many amazing resources out there and we want to make sure that our family can get involved as much as they can because they love to support us. So be sure to check that out. And now, last but not least, for financial literacy, we released the August Financial Friday posts on taxes. So go check those out if you haven't already. And for September, we have our emergency funds series coming out. So these posts will be coming out twice a month, and we will be advertising fun challenges where you can apply all this information you're learning from these posts throughout the year. So yeah.
Awesome. So in the progress side of things, our first big initiative is the middle school involvement. An involvement guide, like kind of geared towards middle schoolers and how to become involved as a middle school member, getting prepared for high school, will be published in November. And as for right now, the Middle School Leadership Council, which is new to Colorado this year, we will be hosting 3 middle school members to kind of kickstart their leadership journey in middle school. Those applications are due the 22nd of this month. So if you have any middle schoolers you know who would be a great fit for this, please let them know, have them reach out to me if they have any questions. And then under our Reel series, both of these have launched already. So the What Do You Want to Know Wednesday is out. We published our welcome slash intro to the initiative, and then another one will be published this Wednesday. Make sure you submit questions, if not to my email, in the comments of the social media pages. And then the State Officer Saturdays have also launched. These are basically just sort of like vlogs from the state officers to encourage not only like state officer member transparency, but show you that we are regular people too. We do regular person things. Show a little bit of fun content on our Instagram. So make sure you follow along with those. And if you have any questions for state officers, especially the ones that are in the videos, you can comment them in those comment sections as well.
I think you're muted, Addie.
There we go. Thank you. So lastly for you guys, before we close and get our picture, feel free to scan this QR code. It's just a little reflection form for you guys to fill out on how we did tonight. And then you also get peak points for attending. So you'll kind of get those for your chapters so you guys can keep building up those points. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. Our Instagrams are easy to find. They're usually our name and then FBLA, or our emails are also on the website. And then I'm going to hand it over to Lindy to get our picture.
Okay, so if you want to stop sharing your screen so I can like fill. I'll have to do 2, so just I always say embarrassment is a mindset. So just pretend that you're not embarrassed to be staring at me as you smile for a while. We're gonna do our deltas. So if you do 2 peace signs and put them together like this, that is our delta if everybody wants to do that. Last time I realized I didn't give anybody time to like get their cameras on, so I'm actually gonna give you like 5 seconds real quick. Okay, hopefully everyone, at least on my first slide, is ready. Okay, there's my first one. Let me do the second. Awesome. I am all good.
Perfect. Lastly, we hope to see you guys all on our next monthly membership meeting on October 20th at 7 p.m. And we're going to learn about competition. So all of our new and change competitive events. So stay tuned for that. And the September monthly membership meeting is now adjourned. So we'll see you guys later.
Thank you for having me, Colin.